moment on this conference that I went for in Nairobi, when the South African Minister of Transport stood up in the gathering where there are political parties from all over the world, and he said to me, he said, I want to applaud Liberia because your election was so tight, hotly contested, and President BOAKAI only defeated President Weah less than 30,000 votes. And yet, President Weah conceded. He said, you people should continue that democracy. I was proud. I'm going to say anyway, therefore, President, we have to concede and keep our democracy on the path it is. It's something, of course, I'm proud of, and I'm happy he did that. I would praise him any day for that, because not many Africans can do that. Look, let's stop all these political noise. When people do something good, praise them. He could have stayed in power like other people. Yes, he could have done that. When President BOAKAI
look at the time frame, look how short things were, and look how joyous and organic the assembly and convergence was. You know, it's something that I thought we needed to talk about, we needed to highlight. And of course, the message from the Liberian people, for me, you know, it was beyond just a groundbreaking. It was a national consensus. It was a referendum against bad rule, bad governance, misrule of the Unity Party oligarchy. It was, look, there's nowhere in the world a people who are rescued. There's no way in the world a people whose salary are coming on time, a people whose children are going to school on a good and conducive atmosphere. There's no way that motorcyclists who are going home with some significant digits at the end of the day or at the end of the week or month. There's no reason why marketeers who making businesses, the return is very high. No reason why you have a vibrant private sector, everything, business services available, and you see people assembling in that mass number. No need. But the fact that people joyfully, organically converge in such form and manner, without any coercion, without transportation, no food, no capping, no inducement. People organically in a passionate mood, gathering in such form and manner, Mr. Prince, that is the glorious takeaway from me. And people going with brakes on their head, people volunteering with hammer, with shovel, with wheelbarrow. That convergence for me, it was emotional, beyond the presence of politics, beyond the lenses of just the physical, and just beyond the physical observation of the pageantry of that day, right? Beyond the physical
of her administration. What did she say? She said corruption was a vampire that it claimed the lives of many people because it denied children of going to school. It denied pregnant women from giving birth into health centers. It denied that young university graduate of job after graduation, going to school for years. It did a lot of damages to many of the citizens in Liberia due to corruption, and it continues to increase in Liberia. And this is why we've seen international report, not CDC report, Congress for Democratic Change or Coalition for Democratic Change reports coming up. These things did not happen out of the blue moon. We have, like Randall said the last time, we have no capacity to bribe these international, institutions that come out with these results or these reportages. No, we have no capacity to bribe the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, that is now reporting that the economic growth rate of the country, has dwindled. It has reduced. It can no longer go forward than was previously projected, a little, of 5%. It can no longer be in that range because there is massive looting, massive corruption under Joseph Newman BOAKAI-led government. Because there is corruption, there is hardship. Because there is corruption, people cannot get access to basic social services. Because there is corruption, BOAKAI prefer putting that mud on or surfaces and say that he's building roads. Because there is corruption, our children cannot go to school. Because there is corruption, that road that should have been built cannot be built. Because of corruption, so many things happen. Young girls have been forced to go and prostitute. I'm sorry to say, Shanti. Women are being subjected to abusive relationship, domestic violence, because that man can do that. So, because there is corruption, the police, you have more traffic police officer than ERU police. You have more traffic police officers in the street. Every policeman joining the police force, they want to be a traffic police because that's where they can collect from motorcyclists, from taxi driver, and what have you. So to be,
though I'm not well, but we have to take our time and come here to enlighten our people who are out there listening to us. For me, United Party is almost like copying everything we are doing. And I'm not surprised. The United Party was founded in the 80s and have been in existence for nearly 50 some more years. Because if you were established over 2 decades, you are nearing 50 years now, and you spent 12 years ruling this country, and mistakenly you've been given another 6 years to rule us again. And then you did not build party headquarters then, but today you want to do that. They are just trying to build this political attention for themselves. That is how I can describe it. Because according to Mr. BOAKAI, he said that he will ensure CDC become history in our political spectrum. And it's doing that. It is clear that Mr. BOAKAI is doing that. But again, we as people of this country and people who believe in the grassroots narrative will not allow Mr. BOAKAI and his elite surrogates to diminish us or to erase us, because they believe in elitism, and we do not see that. We are far beyond that. Let me open with what my brother just ended with. When you have a certain president, my people, encouraging corruption, then what will government officials do? What will the citizens do? Because this man stood there and said that if you can steal the money and invest in Liberia. So just to tell you that, go and steal taxpayers' money. After stealing, you keep a portion at your house, and the rest of the money, you share it among the citizens, the masses of our country, the downtrodden masses of our country. So as an elected official, as an elected president before his inauguration, BOAKAI started accepting bribe, he started accepting gifts from businesses. This is an act of corruption. No scientist will come from heaven, or no angel will come from heaven and tell us that, BOAKAI would just be sitting down. A BOAKAI of yesterday would just sit down, someone would just bring money and give it to him. No, because this man told us that he was living alone. So the fact that BOAKAI started accepting gifts is an act of corruption. One other one is corruption has become the hallmark of this regime. It is rampant. It is visible in all sectors. Corruption is just like, sorry for the expression, just like a prostitution in our country. Every sector in this country has been affected by corruption, and BOAKAI is doing nothing about it. Corruption is also exploiting commercial drivers to register their vehicles, their keke, their motorbikes, and at the end of the day, you restrict them from running on major streets without providing them no job opportunity. That is also corruption. You cannot tell me that I should go and register my bike over $100, $100, and at the end of the day, you restrict me from going out to fend for my living. That is also corruption. And corruption is also when you have Amos Swear, the Secretary General of the United Party, taking loan from Finance Ministry without legislative approval. We saw that happening in this country. And BOAKAI, he knows about it. The president knows about it. He's aware of it. And he cannot even account the fund.
You can see men with courage converging on a one ambit to confront the Unity Party dissidents. And I'm excited that a brother Boeman, J.B. Boeman, a brother that we have a very long political record and history, he have come back, he have realized that the Unity Party have desperately performed, and he have seen reason that we can reconverge the forces to ensure that the Liberian people can be liberated from the desperate death squads of the Unity Party government. Again, I'm not surprised. That have been the normal chicaneries of the Unity Party. Mr. BOAKAI and the Unity Party have always been dancing to their normal chicaneries and the mere political, the political bluff. Over the years, Unity Party have succeeded with propaganda, mis and disinformation, and many Liberians have got to realize that the Unity Party does not offer well for them. They have got to realize that the Unity Party does not offer well for them. The statistics have been proving over the time that Unity Party served 12 years in governance. They have not demonstrated any clear roadmap of economic transformation. The Liberian people are still in paralysis. When Mr. President Weah took over the country, you could see a clear development. You could see a clear economic shift, economic political paradigms. It was clearly demonstrated by the CDC-led government. But again, it is the Unity Party that we are talking about. Because the CDC have said to the Liberian people that we are shifting the political paradigms where our institution will have our own party headquarters. The Unity Party have come up with their own charade again, that they are going to have their own party headquarters across the country. You served for over 40 years in the national political discourse, 40 years in existing as a political parties. You have not owned a land. You have not owned a land. You served 12 years in governance. You performed dismally. All of your policy documents failed the Liberian people. Now you are in power. You have spent almost 3 years in power. Because the CDC is taking the politics from different dynamics, you are not coming back with a rhetoric to use state cover money and say you want to build a party headquarters. Where are you taking the money from? Why didn't you build a party headquarters in your 40 years of existence as a Unity Party?
Thank you.
Why didn't you build your party headquarters? Because now the CDC, the Liberian people are celebrating the party. The Liberian people have realized that Mr. BOAKAI and the Unity Party have
dedication of our headquarters.
Everything being done is an execution of Joseph BOAKAI playbook. The rapist, Miguel, who has left the country, is what Joseph BOAKAI wanted. So Joseph BOAKAI is bothered by the fact that for the first time since Chewy Party did, no other political party, since the foundation of our state, will break a ground and build its own headquarters.
Over 2005, the open avenue for drugs. CDC never knew where drugs coming from or trying to challenge it. They couldn't make it instead they leave on power. Those who are the original people are drug coming now in power, so it will get scattered everywhere. You have to understand how things started, how things going. Tell you know where the problem coming from. That was just mere propaganda. They already opened the system, and CDC know how to control the system. Now they come out of power, the system reopen. You have to understand where it is coming from. Mere propaganda. But I can say to you today, it's the same mere propaganda. Why you think we launching party, they want to launch party? It's a thing political memory. Why won't find militant you don't want to find it? Why when citizens see political revolution every song, they are more they can find it. Because this is the main video education. I've seen somebody posting, and I can see it to the people every day God in my life. CDC is the only strongest grassroots political party with single-minded intellectual revolution that will change the contradiction of our people. I tell somebody, say, you feel United Party smart, let's do competitive analysis. Bring the education credential, bring our president education credential. Bring George, bring Joa Howard Taylor CV, bring Con CV. Bring the Minister of Youth and Sport, bring the Minister of Education, bring our own. Bring the speaker of our time and bring citizens and speaker for nothing. That people do competitive analysis on clear academic ascendancy. And so we're strong. All the things just mere merit. So I can say propaganda and citizens in the gear for redemption on October 18th.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
Buema
Okay.
JV Buema.
Okay.
The destruction of the CDC headquarters. Bridge is passing overhead, so therefore you can't build. You on the road. The place for one man. Let's hear from you, sir.
You know, let's go back to history. 2023, we went to an election.
Kindly hit for us the
United
share
Party
button, please.
and the
Share with
CDC.
friends. Share
The
with family
United Party
members.
won that election narrowly with 1%. 1%. They won with less than 16,000 votes, less than 17,000 votes. Now, the United Party know fully well how they won that election. We don't want to go into details. They are simply the angry winners. The United Party is afraid. They know very well they've made a lot of promises that they are yet to fulfill. They promise to alleviate poverty. Today they have multiplied poverty. They promise to create jobs. Today we have the highest number of unemployed people in Liberia. They promise to end the issue of salary disparity. Today we have it all happening under the watchful eyes of BOAKAI. Now, the Unity Party know come 2029, their main focus will be how can we be able to overdo or to undo what happened in 2023. There's only one political party that stands before us, and that political party is the CDC. So what can we do? Let us do all we can within our powers to ensure that the CDC become a history. That there will be no political party in the Republic of Liberia called the CDC. So the first thing they did was to ensure that the CDC headquarters, that iconic building, a historic structure that have lived, and even the evil madams that live 10 you, the CDC headquarters could not go down. The current United Party of BOAKAI said, no, we have to take it down. So the issue about whether the event will take place on the 18th, I just drew a simple map here. You can see the map. This is the main structure. This structure inside here, the CDC leadership have already paid for this structure. They have paid for the land, and this is the land that will be dedicated. But due to the fact that the land here is not as big as anybody could expect, there are other adjacent or surrounding lands around the land. So the CDC leadership negotiated with people for this land to see how they could be able to attach the land to this land that will be where the groundbreaking ceremony will take place on Saturday.
All right. So fellow Liberians home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here, and we want to use this time to welcome each and every one of you. Whenever we have the opportunity to mount this platform, we see it as a privilege, and we are prepared to give you nothing but the best. So what we encourage you to do, what we advise that you do, what we appeal that you do for us is to widen the scope. Invite as many persons as you can invite. Tag as many persons as you can tag. Because on here, what we do is to educate you in the simplest form so that you can understand the deception of the BOAKAI-led regime. Today, Liberia is retrogressing in every aspect. You talk about the rule of law, we are retrogressing. You talk about security, we are retrogressing. You talk about employment, we are retrogressing. In everything you can ever think about. So it is our responsibility to come here, encourage, come here, inform, and give you what is obtaining. So again, we want to say welcome to each and every one of you. Take the time off, invite friends, invite family members, hit for us the share button, and let's all have a wonderful, a very, very, very wonderful time. Very wonderful time. So on this note, we want to welcome each and every one of you. We are streaming from different platforms. Now we are streaming from about 5 different platforms. That is X, or Instagram, and how you call YouTube. We get several Facebook pages and etc. It's not easy to to do these things, but again, want to say thanks to all of you. So, in a special note, before we can begin, I want to welcome some distinguished people that have joined us here. I want to welcome the Honorable uh, Chairman of the Unity Administration of the CDC, that is the Honorable Yahaya Talata Sharif. I want to say you are welcome. Thank you for joining us, Honorable Sharif. Thank you so very kindly. I want to welcome Official Blue VR. Thank you so much for joining us. Susie, thank you so much. Lamadan, I appreciate you. Canada is in the house. I want to welcome the Rising Sun TV. Thank you so much, my own brother there. Rizzo, how are you, my brother? Thank you for joining us. Victoria Morris, how are you? Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence here. Fresh 42895, thank you so much. We appreciate you for your presence here. Agatha Glasgow, how are you? Thank you so much, Mama, for your presence. I appreciate you. Thinkers Village is in the house. Thinkers Village is present. Yeah. Sona Dew, thank you so much. We appreciate your presence. CDC Grain Child, we want to say you are highly welcome. Emmanuel Kia, thank you so much. Anna Kekula, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Raf, for joining us. Emmanuel, we appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. Rufus, thank you so much. Roosevelt, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Bangali Lasana, thank you so much. Love P. Thank you so much. We appreciate your presence here. It's a privilege for us to have you here. Roosevelt, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Michael Dan, thank you so much. Love, how are you? James, thank you so much. Nina Quia, that's my lovely sister right there. You are highly welcome. Tyrus Momon, thank you so much for joining us. Amos J. Vincent, how are you, sir? Sheriff Tico, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Our Director of Research, Tobazi Christopher Water Tobazi, you are highly welcome. Thank you so very kindly. Emmanuel Jackson, you are welcome. Thank you so very kindly. Ansu Sani, how are you? Alfonso Tule, thank you so much. Paul Leo David, we appreciate you. Nathan, thank you so much for joining us here. We appreciate your presence here. Albert, how are you? Ruth, people are joining us from all around the place. I want to say welcome to all of you. Those of you who we cannot see because of limitation from our end, we want to say please forgive us, but we welcome you. Elijah, I can look at all of the we own more than different. We own like about 5 different platforms right now, streaming live. So I can look at everything, but I want to say welcome to all of you. Thank you so very kindly for joining us. Ime, how are you? Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly. So today we are going to be discussing a lot. We are going to be discussing a lot. So what I'm going to advise you to do is that sit back. If you have a glass of water or juice or whatever it is, just grab it, and we're going to have, a very, very, very wonderful time. A very wonderful time. So, get ready. Let's do this together, and we can definitely do it. So, let's get ready from the back as we bring our people. Let's get ready as we bring our people to the front.
That be what just in thin air, so people all know where people will just be sitting down in this
Let's
country.
bring our people on.
Money that they allocated for a specific purpose will just disappear in thin air. You want to tell me that the president don't know about them? No, he's aware of them. He know exactly what is going on. Corruption is also when you have the CSA boss, Josiah Joker, that comical individual sitting down at the CSA, and telling us Liberians that he has cleaned the payroll but cannot account for the 3 millions. So the effect of corruption is not only, it's not only affecting our nation's economy, it is affecting us as Liberians. When you
Thank
have
you.
the current rate that, I mean, last month, the rate was down. But we did not see any changes in the market. Everything that they say, oh, the rate now come down. So,
It has to do with it has to
Well,
do with
In our country, I posted a few minutes ago on my platform. I said, while the world is watching, our mega press briefing has resulted into insulting instead of putting forth deliverables. Look,
So again, hit for us the share
Dano
button.
and the
Let's
rest
get
of the
started.
guys here and our listening audience. Why are we shocked when people that Sando, or Daniel Sando that will come on Mika and insult people? Why are we shocked? Here is a government that rewarded murderer on camera, see on camera, murderer, lucrative position at the NPA. Should we shock us when Daniel Sando come and abuse people? Should we shock us when their arrowhead is diving and warning with misconduct? These guys are just doing exactly what their leaders have portrayed. In a civilized society, in a country with cultural traditions and moral, when the minister go about doing such, you'll be called to court. The government people
All
is
right. So
serious
again, we
error.
want to say welcome to all of you. I'm sorry,
It's not a
yeah.
play.
When you are doing almost
To
everything,
put
it's
all
not easy, my people. To bring you what you are seeing here is very tough. I have about 4 different screens that I'm doing right here. This is not just the normal coming live, pull your phone down, bam, you go. No, I have 4 different streams. I have one here for YouTube. I have this here for, comments, and I have this here for sound. I got to be observing everything. So bear with me. Sometimes you will see I have to go backstage to check this one, whether this one is working. So we are doing the technical work. We are doing presentation. And at the same time, we're doing everything together. But thank you so much. It is you that gave us the strength to do what we are doing. So I want to say thanks to all of you. On this note, my people, let's welcome the Honorable Randolph Dubayu. Honorable Dubayu, how are you, Chief?
well, thank you, my dear friend, my friend, brother, Prince Sharif, Chairman Sharif. Now we call you Chairman Sharif. Um,
Thank you, sir.
a position you so dearly and honestly merit. You've been consistent and you've been so passionate. You've been so involved, not just for personal gain, but for a holistic gain for our institution. For 6 years, we had a regime presided over by the CDC. You benefited nothing, yet you remain a consistent arrowhead, heralding the need for, consistent liberal change affecting all spectrum of our society. And even so, after a narrow defeat against us, you still remain vertically erected to ensure that advocacy on behalf of the people is not thwarted. You remain unbending, unending. Your desire remain wholly unwavering, and that unwavering element and characteristic of your action is something that we so deeply cherish and admire. So I would like to say welcome to the show. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being selfless. Thank you for seeing the bigger picture of our country. Thank you for placing uh, altruism above egoism. Thank you for putting people above self. And people like you are people that we need in our country. And so, my dear brother, today I just thought to start the show by homaging you, homaging your gallant strength and your inner desire to remain who you are. Not many people can stand, the wave of consistency. We see today we got our brother Kanu on the other side, gallivanting, fluctuating, and he's I don't know, he and Delona, who is very inconsistent. The only consistency about Candiona is inconsistency, and many other brothers who cannot in nano circumstance by themselves, unlike you. So I like to homage you and say, hats up. I know the weekend was good, and to everyone listening to us in Radio Land, internet, Twitter, Facebook, and whatever gadget or platform you are using. So welcome to the Redemption Hour. This is where we mainstream our conversation circle around national issue driven by your interest, national issue driven by our desire for a radical and tangible change. And so, my dear friends and brother, we say welcome, thank you. We are glad to be here and to be here for your interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my brother. I am humbled by this. It's a privilege whenever you see, another young person having confidence and trust in you. It's something that we highly cherish. It reminds me back from the days of, the African Methodist Episcopal University. Some of us became part of the student politics because of, you play a very pivotal role, especially at the level of SAM, from the AMEU, looking at how you people were involved and encourage us. And, even though we're doing something that we could not, like, come up like that openly, but we're involved. So I want to say thank you. And I really appreciate that all along this journey, you've been there as a political, a godfather guiding us through. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And thank you so much. Words are inadequate to express how grateful we are. And we are always privileged when we are sharing the platform with you and many others who have guided us, from school days. I mean, from the days of university up to now, we stay moving. We are excited. We are happy. So thank you again. And we can do this together. Thank you so very kindly for your service to Mama Liberia and for the sacrifices you continue to make even beyond, government. I know how tough it is here taking care of family, you get other stuff, but yet you are still here. I really, really do appreciate you. Thank you so very kindly, sir. Thank you. Again, we want to welcome all of you and we appeal that you kindly hit for us the share button, share with friends, share with family members, and let's all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. Before we even enter into our today's discussion, there is something that is happening, and I want us to just use the next maybe 2, 3 minutes to talk about. It's as if from every angle, the government is complacent with the issue of mob violence, increase in crimes in our country, armed robbery, etc., etc. And the government continue to remain silent on the raping of our daughters by ministers of this government. And it's as if we discuss it for 1, 2 weeks, they put in, we talk. They have swept it under the carpet. Honorable Dogayu, just before we can enter into our, points of discussion, I want to hear from you. What is happening? Government is tight-lipped on the rape cases that were perpetrated by key members of this particular regime, about this government. There are increase in, mob violence, crimes are on the increase, and etc. And it's as if we do not even have a police in Liberia again. Like somebody was telling me, the police can be seen from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5, intimidating vehicles, extracting money, and etc. Don't get me wrong, there are some professional people there. There are some people who have very, very, exhibit some good level of morals. But unfortunately, the bad ones are many. So it's like we are seeing, and almost like there are no police, or we don't even have, a security arm of the government that referred to as the Liberian National Police to protect life and property. What is going on, Honorable Dowai? Let's hear from you, sir.
The police has lost its essence. The police has submerged into a partisan unit of the Unity Party. The police, instead of its being friend to the people, the police, instead of serving our community, the police, instead of being that group that you can run to, it has become the group that is running behind you. It has become the group that is looting, that is beating people. It has become a group of, of political identity. And not me saying that it is an action manifested by those entrusted to serve the police. Gregory Como is a known political actor. You see his attitude when other opposition political parties are gathering, and you see his attitude and posture when the Unity Party is gathering. Gregory Como has consistently proven that he's not a national servant, he's serving the Unity Party's interest. And so, what is happening with the police is a situation of, you know, is a severe miscarriage of service. A civil service should be dedicated to serving your country, serving the people, the public. But Gregory Como's police force, they've governors only to serve the elite. They governors to serve as a unit of oppression. They believe in oppressing the people. And so when there's a total breakdown in the rule of law, when the people do not trust the law enforcement officer, when the law enforcement officer, instead of being, enforcer of the law, but become broker of the law, that is what happened. These guys are actively breaking the laws in broad daylight and nothing is happening. You see a police officer going to a fuller woman and using disproportionate force before camera. That police care less because he has a Gregory Como who will support him. He has a Gregory Como who will do nothing. Before broad daylight, a young lady, she was picked up like an ordinary object, and all private part was showing. The police did nothing. The professional ethics division at Labrador National Police is not functional. We saw broad daylight, a young man, Mr. Moba, Matthew Moba, may the soul and the soul of all faithful departed through the mercy of the Supreme Spirit. Rest in perpetual peace. A young man, mentally ill, struggling, just wanted to survive. He just wanted help. Instead of being helped, he was forced to his ultimate and untimely demise. That is what is happening with the police. The police has lost its essence. The fundamental essence of the establishment of police has seemed to be disintegrated under this regime. This regime doesn't care about the rules of engagement. This regime doesn't care about the rules of law. We saw how this regime went and arrested Mary Broad, Manasoya, and other key officials without due diligence. But when a rapist in Mangio, deputy minister, raped a 13-year-old young lady with all prima facie evidence available to government-owned hospital, yet the government crawls like Simeon. The government move like a turtle with no desire, no passion, no spirit to enforce the law. This is unfortunate. This brings tears to my eyes as a young man who have a girl child. Imagine my girl child going through such unthinkable circumstances and conditions. This is unfortunate, my dear brother. And this government doesn't care. That's just a summary of everything that is happening. The government doesn't care.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dowayu. And fellow Liberian, let me say this. It is unfortunate that we have a government that have neglected her responsibility, especially the component of protecting its citizens. Today, and I will always say, the only difference between the Liberian National Police, controlled by Gele Como, and the armed robbers is that the Liberian National Police, for them, they can carry flag. That's all. But it will surprise you to know that the police are also aiding and abetting crimes in our community. No, don't believe me. The reports are out. You read the reports from our international partners. So that somebody will not say, oh yeah, the local group, yeah, this, that, other thing. All hands are pointing out to the way there is a complete breakdown in our security. And that's scary. Because the police is the first channel. The police, that is the first medium that citizens can be able to run to. They are the people that when you see, they represent peace. They represent civility. They represent calmness.
But to the extent now that the police can start to commit serious crime and absolutely nothing is coming from out of it. That's scary. No, don't believe us. Look at what happened in Kinjo. Joseph Newman Brecker ordered the police to shoot and massacre our people in Kinjo. What was the issue? The people asked that the B Mountain will have to live up to the social corporate responsibility that they signed to. And Joseph Newman Brecker ordered the police. As we speak today, fellow Liberians, there are children without fathers. There are wives without husband. They are widow ready. Today, there are parents without children. There are families without breadwinners because Joseph Newman Brecker, this idiot of a president, organized and instructed Gary Como to go to Kinjo and massacre our people. Some of us are victims of what happened in Kinjo. Up to now, not even a single police officer has accounted for that action. Not a single police officer have answered any question for that for that particular atrocity that was committed. Today, fellow Liberians, we are seeing police discharging weapons. Look at what happened, like what you are saying. A man who is challenged. They went there, and the only thing they could bring us, was a dead body. Look at around the place what is happening. Our country is no longer safe. Our nation is no longer safe. Once it is 5:30, people running from in the street as if maybe somebody running behind them. They want to go home. Even in the homes, people are no longer safe in the home. Armed robbers now, in fact, we are at the mercy of armed robbers because they stand what they can do. When you even pull window bar or you think you get iron gate, the people can be busting the bow. You call police that feeble, that for nothing. They will never come. They won't come. Look at what is happening with the DEA. DEA officers are now selling drugs. The commander, just quite recently, the commander, I think, in Grand Bassa County, the man who collected huge quantity of drugs, he was brave enough to collect the drugs and carry it back to go and sell it. What is happening to us, fellow Liberians? And we think it is normal. We are sitting and think all is well. I know some of you voted for this regime, but you did not vote to become a victim. Newly. But this is what you have. That's what we told you from the beginning. Electing these people who have a known record of participating and committing heinous atrocity in our country was going to be like electing your own switch. And here is it has happened. It reminds me of the Bible. When the children of Israel said, according to the Bible, they called Samuel and said, Samuel, we want king. We now want to be like other, we want somebody where we can see. We want to be like other nations around us. And someone cried and said, they think you're doing so that bad thing. They king here where you say you want. When y'all get king, it will not be easy to say, oh, move for here, get your king. Fast forward, at the end of the day, Saul was given to them. And you saw how they were treated. This is what is happening. We warn our people that this particular Joseph Newman Brecker is going to be a disaster. We did not say it because we hated him, no. Or because we have no hate in our heart for anybody. No. We were saying these things because we followed the mental record. Giving Saul to Bedego so he can start money from another person. Stealing from Amon Claudius Sawyer doing the war. Just imagine wartime government. For them to sack you doing the war. You think that's something? Wartime government where everybody doing their own thing. Nobody get time for anybody. Same one is that. If Amon Claudius can sack you because you stole. Today, look at the anger that he's venting out against the widow. But I'm telling my soul. Only because you want to pay there, you want to pay you swear, you say you are too vindictive. You say you will pay there. I will pay there. Even though Amos are not living, but I will pay there. Don't even believe me. Ask James Colley. ask Edwin Melvin Snow when he gave us the narrative and said, Joseph Newman Boyka said that I will not forget Jane Colley because the thing was a bad day to me. The time the boy was 2 years old. Can you imagine? The man was 2 years old. He didn't even know what is happening, what not happening. He, Joseph Newman Boyka, and Jane Colley follow whatever that they went through, blah, 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 and stuff like that. The man swear say, your son will pay for it. This is the kind of vindictive president that we are dealing with. But fellow Liberians, we are grateful to be here, and we ask that you hit for us the share button. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Honorable Dowayu, we woke up to a surprise. Even though for some of us it's not a surprise. But this particular corrupt regime, this regime that does not respect the rule of law, this regime just quite recently, the GSC conducted a report where almost $120+ million went in breeze, vla. We don't know where it go. We woke up and we saw a document being submitted of $1.2 billion in terms of budget that Joseph Newman Boyka and his gangster have submitted to the regime puppet and will subsequently be discussed in the House. I don't know whether it will be open because Richie Kun, who is a puppet of a regime, he has a clandestine way of doing things, so I don't know. But a $1.2 billion budget has been submitted by this government. Is this a reality or a fantasy? Should we as people be jumping up and say, yeah, hey, Liberia coming chin, hey, development? Should we as the ordinary people who don't have job be jumping up that, hey, no, the budget now, it can provide job opportunity and etc. Honorable Doba, you please tell us, is this a reality or just maybe somebody will say a charade, smoke screen, or they just
So let
bullshit?
me let me state this for a fact, and I will say this repeatedly, that this budget is budget of fantasy. That this budget is a cocktail for corruption. That this budget is a budget of thievery. It's a budget that set the stage for criminality. The budget has been characterized like this by me because evidently this budget, as it has been announced and chest beat, because the chest beating everywhere, clamorously chest beating that they have taken the budget to billion. It is just for the tiny and myopic political optic, but it doesn't have any realistic bearing in terms of solving the issues of the day that the people, the ordinary masses of the people are experiencing. So, in a nutshell, this budget has increased by burden, not by benefits for the people. This budget has increased only by size, not by impact. The budget, of course, it is a tale of colossal thievery. They have infused money in the budget to build the United Party headquarters. They've distributed money among themselves. And the budget, in spite of the fact that I'm not a financial scholar, but I'm a scholar of contemporary reasoning. You don't need to be a financial or budgetary scholar to know that this budget is unrealistic. And just little figures set the stage for anybody to think. For example, in 2024, first starting from 2023, CDC had a budget of 782,944,000. In 2024, United Party, their own budget, it reduced. It did not meet the benchmark of CDC 782. Because when you go back, CDC was in a very progressive form, consistent with farm, with decent fiscal, formula, and monetary formula. You saw we were in line. So from 782 in 2024 when it came, it reduced drastically by almost 40 million, 738 Unity Party in 2024, their first budget. In 2025, it went up to 851 million. So 851 million in this one, my dear brother, experienced consistent budget shortfall, consistent realignment, and consistent recast. When people do consistent realignment, recast, meaning what they say they will collect versus what they have collected versus what they have spent, they do not correspond. That's why most of the time the people go and revisit the budget. For example, you say this semester, my children in the house are buying 10 back already. Your study. After first semester, you already gone 5 back already. But as this semester running you, but just imagine after first semester 5 back already gone. So every son father will go and repromise or go back and redesign his budget. That is what they've been doing in a nutshell. Now, why they are struggling? Are you getting me, Prince Sharif?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Why they have struggled, why they are struggling, why they were consistent of budget spending. For example, Speaker Kun exceeded his budget, the one I was budgeted for. He exceeded, they went off track. Why they are struggling with all of these things, the government one money woke up and say they're going to 1.2 billion. Now, before getting into the reality of this, they say, okay, 1.2 billion, it sounds so decent, it sounds so fun. But guess what? Because the budget law requires, if you say this year, this is your target, you got to also project next year and the following year. The following year, which is 2026, in their own projection, the money coming back to 920 million. Then 1 year later, which will be 2027, they are projecting that it will go to 1 billion again. Now, when we ask, I hope you following the logic here. When we ask, if this budget is realistic, there must be a constant progression. You can't be going in front and coming back. You take one step in front and you come back 30 steps. That is not growth. That is what this budget is telling us, not me. Go at the numbers and look at these numbers. Now, the reason why you see now they say 1.2 billion is because ArcelorMittal, there was a deal ongoing. They forced the deal to sign ArcelorMittal MDA, and then there is a signature bonus of 200 million. They rushed and infused the 200 million into this budget year. Now the 200 million is just one-time payment. It's not ever going to come back again. It's not ever going to come back again. There's no way to replace the 200 million next year. They know that for a fact. But because they are in so much hurry, because they are so much desperate to prove that they are growing our budget, because they are so much desperate to prove that they are making impact, they want to infuse this number. But let's assume that this budget has realistically increased for a just purpose. Let's assume our meeting. I want to disagree and tell the Liberian people, when you're out there and you are jubilant, you happy because this budget has grown, you are at liberty to be happy. The question now is this: is this budget actually a budget of impact, benefit, or burden? I'm arguing that this budget is of burden. Why? Because when you look at the speaker's budget, currently the speaker has a budget of 1.4 billion. In this so-called increase 1.2 billion budget, the speaker budget has increased to 1.8 million. So how is this increase for Jabagolo Saki, who is down there in Togoitan? How is this an increase for the immigration man who is a border patrolman between the border between Ariko and Granji there, down Kavala River, who is struggling to ensure that illegal immigrant and toxic substance and illegal substance do not trade our country? How is this budget solving the issue of the policeman when the Speaker of the House budget has been increased from 1.4 million to 1.8 million United States dollars? Of course, you see the office of the Deputy Speaker. You see the office of the President. Budget everywhere have increased. So how is it now a budget of impact? Let's leave that. Go to Leges. Leges is the Liberal Institute for for Labrador Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services. That's legit. Now, in my little main idea, not being a financial scholar, but a contemporary, thinker who reason beyond all reasonable doubt, I dive into the budget, and I discovered that one of the so-called reasons the increment was done is clearly aligned with an increase of the latest budget. Legit currently has a budget of $1,484,786 in fiscal year 2025. In this budget year, Legit now has a walloping, a gigantic, gargantuan, and one $2,640,138 When you look at the variance here, you will see a difference of 1,153,352 is the difference. When you quantify this into percentile, it's 77.57%. Now, the next question now is, why in just less than a year, this entity's budget increased astronomically, my dear brother Sharif? Why in less than a year, not the health provider budget increasing here? So not agriculture. The first letter in their so-called RS agenda is A. Not the agriculture project is astronomically increasing here. It is the budget of Legit. Now, these guys are very smart. Sometimes they put money in other institutions far away so that they will use the backdoor approach and go get that money back. Or sometimes they put money in the budget so that interests surrounding themselves so that their own personal interest will be solved. Now, in this case, we have uncovered, you remember when Speaker Kun was saying, they need more women representation, they need more female in the house, even though that's not what our constitution says. These guys have planned to increase our legislative seats. Right now, we already have 73 seats in the country, and it's spending more than 30 million on these guys. That is not enough. That is not enough for Rachel Kun, Regime Speaker, and the government led by Joseph BOAKAI. What they want to do against despite all of the unemployment issue, nothing working, petty traders are struggling, the private sector is functionally weak. Nothing is happening in terms of domestic production. Our output in terms of trade and our export, everything is weak. Not me, it is the US State Department, it is World Bank, it is IMF. While all of this is happening, we expect a responsible government to infuse money into the local economy so that farmers will increase their productivity on the market, so that yield will increase, and then that will lead to an increased circulation of money and resources, and local employment is expected to grow. While these are issues we expect our government to look at, our government doesn't have interest. They have interest in putting almost 1 million additional into legislation, because additional legislative seats are about to be formulated. And legislature statutorily is the entity responsible to do census, to do demarcation, to do enumeration. In this case now, legislature now will be giving that money so that it will go and then come back, do demarcation. They say, okay, yeah, the population threshold, population has increased, so we need to redemarcate and increase legislative seat. That is an interest for the current lawmakers. Some of them already have failed in their districts, in their constituents. They want to escape and go to other new districts. People saying that Richard Coons and other. This is putting breading. When I told you from the beginning, it is budget a budget of benefit of breading. This is my definition and evidence of breading. This government is increasing our breading. What is breading in this case? When you add additional 10 or 15 or 20 seats, those people need staffers. Those people you're buying car, 40,000 car. You're going to pay all of their workers, all of their cook, all of their drivers. You're going to block the payroll with non-essential, non-productive employees who will just be eating money. Those lawmakers, their job is to suffocate our budget. Their job is to suffocate our fiscal space. So this budget is suffocating our fiscal space. This budget is not having any benefit on the people. This budget has increased by burden, not by benefit for the people. This budget has increased not by impact, but by pressure on our fiscal space. It is a budget of colossal thievery.
where monies have been infused for personal purposes to please people, personal political agenda, and to put money in the pocket of big shot using the backdoor approach. So this is my initial reaction on the budget. The budget is huge, but I can tell you the speaker budget has increased. Other functionaries of government, non-essential, their budgets have increased. Not human-driven, sectors of the government budgets have increased. Not teachers, not nurses, but politicians, extravagant spender and strategic institutions' budgets have been increased because it will come back to serve the interests of those who formulate the budget. This is my initial reaction to the question you asked, my dear brother.
Thank you so much, Honorable Dowayu. Thank you so very kindly. I'm here looking at the budget. Let me say this to you, fellow Liberians. BOAKAI Leke, he can send a budget of $3 billion. And I will borrow from Dowayu. He always says this. You can't give what you don't have. In the theory of the crab can never donate blood.
Yeah,
You sitting down,
it
you say,
can
oh
never.
yeah, the man 1/2 pound of blood, the crab around, you will die. We never give.
I mean, that just start looking for a casket for the man. Just start looking for a casket.
Depending
Start
on
digging the
this
man.
budget and celebrating this budget, it's like celebrating the presence of crab when you know that you want blood and you know for sure that crab will not get you will die. You will be in that celebration mood, you will die because it will not help you. I don't care how you celebrate, it will not help you. This entire budget is meant to get satisfied Joseph Newman BOAKAI and his cronies. What it is meant for. Remember the 2024-2025 this one budget. When you listen to the GAC, it tells you that the amount that was allocated for those ministries and for some ministries and agencies, including hospitals, schools, and etc. What did the people say? They say they're not getting it. Those institutions that are supposed to get it, that we, the poor people, are supposed to go to and benefit from it, whether it be a hospital, school, road, blah, blah, blah. They said some of these agencies, some of these ministries, some of these areas that the poor people are supposed to benefit from, they ain't get their budget, they ain't get all of their money. Even though they put it in the budget, that, oh yeah, for example, Ministry of Health, you're supposed to get $9 million. But according to the GAC own audit that they conduct, they say instead of the Ministry of Health, for example, GFK, for example, getting $9 million, they got somewhere around $2 million. For example, instead of the education, Ministry of Education, getting maybe about 7 million that is supposed to use in school renovation, blah, 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 and etc., they got somewhere around $4 million. But then guess what? Even though those budgets, they were cut, they were significantly slashed, but extra $100 million, can you imagine, was used on different things that they didn't get paper on. Now people, they don't have paper on. They ain't got no record. Even though money that's supposed to go to the hospital, they give it to them. Money that's supposed to go to school and things that's supposed to benefit or rural, etc., they give it to them. But they were able to spend almost about $120 million without any paper trace, without any paperwork. So when you look in the budget and see the project, that, oh yeah, we gave, for example, Ministry of Education, 5 million, 3 million, 2 million. See, they will not get up to that amount. All of this money that you're looking at, they will be diverted to BOAKAI project, to BOAKAI and his crooks. You, the common people, you will not benefit. Because when you look in the budget, what has increased in this budget is Joseph Newman BOAKAI traveling. His traveling expense have increased. His budgetary allotment, what BOAKAI is supposed to be getting a budget for an office of the president. Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, their budget increase. Oh yes, their budget increase. And guess what? They will get all of their money plus. When you look at the legislative branch, their budget increase. Now when you look at some ministries and agencies, their budget then increase.
And like nobody was, you know what they increase? Because they will go back there and collect the money from there. For example, let's look at area like water and sewer. Mo Ali that told us that he used almost 289,000 out of face pump that lasted for just 1 week. As soon as I was telling you about that, the same thing that was happening in Bapolu, the water will finish. In fact, it just everything disappeared. So these people, they will allocate the money, go back to these ministries and agencies and say, and give it to us. And they give it to them. My people, BOAKAI and his gangster are doing broad daylight stealing in this budget. That's what they are doing. That's what they are doing. When you look at the budget, it is not intended to impact the ordinary people. You do not see a budget that reflects building or creating a kind of avenue where our people can be employed. No, you see it there. You are not seeing in this particular budget realistically that, yeah, okay, the education sector, a lot is going to the education sector, a lot is going to the health sector, and etc. etc. Saying these are the sector that we the poor people are who can benefit from. But guess what? The money going to Richard Kun office increase. The money going to Yombli Kanga Lawrence office increase. The money going to Joseph Yuma BOAKAI increase. The money going to how you call Richard Kun, the vice president Jeremiah Kun increase. So these people budget increase,
Hey, no one's
but nothing
answering
at
the
all
office. Yeah,
about
so
you. Nothing at all has increased. No, it has not. Nothing has increased about you. So basically, you are going to be celebrating a budget that will have no impact on you. Absolutely no impact. When you take the budget one by one and start to scrutinize it, you will see that absolutely nothing is there for you. You may see the number, but guess what? You will not get nothing. Nothing you will not get. Since BOAKAI took over, look at the increase that we have had.
let me call Brian.
Look at the increase that we have had in his budget. So all BOAKAI cares for is how best he can be able to get a budget to increase so that the public can go on a safari. That old man enjoy himself. Look at the travel on the Ministry of State. It has increased. Look at all kind of funny things they are having there. It has increased. But when you come to the health sector, you come to the education sector, when you go to the Ministry of Public Works, in terms of road infrastructure, blah, 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 and stuff like that, nothing you will hear. You will hear budget shortfall. That's why you will hear. But when the budget shortfall, that only we, the common people, that we the one can fall down short on. But then, it will not fall down short on them. That's how it can be like. Because they will basically get surplus, or they will get exactly what is allocated for them. But maybe what is allocated for the hospital, they may not get it. What is allocated for maybe University of Liberia, she may not even get it. What is allocated maybe for road rehabilitation, it may not be. This budget is a broad day roadmap for stealing the Liberian people resources. Let's ask ourselves, what is the government depending on? One of my men can say, where is depending upon? Now, don't get it wrong. We are not people that are angry when we hear good news. No, we are excited. Just a minute, please. We are excited hearing good news. But let's ask ourselves a realistic question. This good news that we are talking about, is this particular good news a real good news? Is it a real good news? Is it a real good news? That's what we should be asking ourselves. Is it a real good news? Now, let's look at our income generation. Let's look at our income generation. Let's look at where the taxes are, the way we can collect our taxes. Now, do you know that most of these construction companies, Joseph Newman BOAKAI and his gangster, they have already taken money from these people? Do you know that? They've already taken money from them. For 2-3 years, they've already taken money from them. So, okay, no problem. So at the end of the day, when you look at the budget, what made BOAKAI happy when he went to France, after giving almost the $200 million or whatever for signature fees, he come back and say, yeah, rich now. So let me add it, and I know that we'll be okay. It's almost like somebody planning his budget, planning your budget on another person's pocket. Something that will not be consistent. Because maybe you have signed new agreement with, the Asla Meta. So at the end of the day, you happy. You say, yeah, the player we're doing well. What these guys wants to prove is that President, we didn't do it, we can do it. So it's almost like they are in competition. It's not the reality. They want to disprove. They want to prove a cause and disprove that, oh yeah, and we say, President, we ain't know nothing. And we say the man got no idea. Look, my people, when the Unity Party realized that it is about the Liberian people, and it is not about President Weah, or trying to prove him wrong, that the day they will start to do better things. All you see these guys are doing, they are not doing it from a realistic standpoint. They are doing it to try to what? To erase the print of President Weah. When you listen to these guys, you will not hear them talking anything as it relates to developing the people. But even these budgets, when you hear them talking about the budget, first they'll say, but President, we didn't do it. That we didn't want to bring the budget all the way 1 billion. So because you want to prove and disprove another person, so you bring in now a budget of $1.2 billion, which the reality that we the one will suffer. Because you know what happened? If you don't know, they have increased taxes. And for our 12%, they carry now to 13%. So you will feel it. They will squeeze more taxes out of you. But guess what? When they squeeze those taxes out of you, you are not the one that will benefit. It will be them. They will be the one benefiting. So we are not angry that the budget is at 1.2 or they are projecting 1.2. No, we are not angry. But you know what? We will not accept deception, lies, hypocrisy. That's why we will not accept. You know what we will not take is for you to present to us a black cloth, and you know very well, or a white cloth, you know very well that beyond that white cloth is black. That is what happening. That is just what happening. That is what happening. Dad, I want to eat like candy. That's what happening. So the reality here is these people, they know very well that this particular budget, to get a budget, it will be for taxes. And don't be surprised that when you go to the market, everything start to increase. Don't be surprised, my people. You don't be surprised. You don't be surprised. Because the place the money is coming from, the money not sitting down to say, yeah, oh, the money sitting down somewhere, just like human breaker, then they will go take it, they bring it, and then the boy will be one. The money will come from your corporate rest. Even if they will realize this 1.2, the money will come from your cup of rice that you buy. The money is going to come from your transportation. The money is going to come from that particular cold water that you will buy. So get ready, tie your waist. And what we are saying is that these increase are not going to affect these idiots that are supposed to be affected, call themselves government officials. They will be at the benefiting end. They will be the beneficiary while we will struggle and suffer. These people, guess what is about to happen? They are about to see increase in their benefits, in their etc. etc. Take for an example, there is a video of the central bank governor. This man is receiving $7,800 for, they call it what under salary compensation. He is receiving 5,000 plus I say 100. I say 5,000 plus. What is he receiving the 5,000 plus for? This man, according to him, for housing allowance. 5,000 plus for housing allowance. You know what is about to happen? These people, money is about to increase. That's what is about to happen. Their benefits about to increase. That's what is going to happen. While our people are in abject danger and poverty, they are about to get rich. Patrick Hona and first a generator taking 3,000. Now it's about to go up. It's about to go up. It's about these people and it's not about us. No, it's not about us. Realistically speaking, me and you will not benefit anything. The ordinary teachers will not benefit anything. You will not see an increase in their salary. You will not see an increase in the salary of the policemen, the health workers. No, you are not going to see an increase in it. But guess what? Where you will see the increase? You will see the increase in these people benefits. You will see these lawmakers getting another $42,000 brand new vehicle again. You will see them having different meetings and conferences around because they want to steal the money or they want to allocate the money in their pockets. So you will hear them talking about another retreat again. That they play the money going. My people, that they play the money. Don't be deceived. That where the money going. You can't be here talking about, oh, there is a legislative retreat. We can't go for a legislative retreat. That they play the money will go. You will hear different government ministries and agencies, oh, we're going to go for the other training. That they place the money going. You come in here just like Newman Boyka traveling. At the end of the day, they will consider that they place those money going. Traveling expense and etc. Joseph Newman Boyka is now excited because he pack it. He come and get wet. He $10 million project in 4 years. He come and be okay. While we, the ordinary people, will continue to struggle and continue to cry. We'll continue to struggle and cry. This budget only reflects how the Unity Party government, they love themselves and not the Liberian people. Look at the budget, look at key components. Maybe we'll have the time to really discuss maybe sector by sector. I don't know. Maybe bring someone here who's a financial expert and we talk about this. But when you look at it sector by sector, you will see that, my people, especially with the office of the presidency, the vice president, the legislative branch, oh, the guys there, forget it. Their ma increase. Their money increase. But we, the ordinary people, nothing increased for us. Absolutely nothing increased for us. The records are there. Listening to the GAC report, don't even believe me. Let me see if I can get the GAC report here and be able to play it for you. Hear what the GAC report say. These people spend money just like that. They spend money just like that. They even want to know whether it's something called, a legislative branch. They don't want to know. They use money anyhow they want to use it. According to the GSC report, money that was allocated, yes, the money was allocated, but guess what? The men ate the money. They ate the money. Yeah, at the end of the day, so there's a budgetary allocation, but the budgetary allocation, the other ministry not get it. The other people, they not get all their money. That's what is about to happen. That's exactly what is about to happen. So this is not for you to be excited of, because this government have never prioritized the Liberian people. No, the Liberian people have never been a priority of this government. Never. Never. The facts are there. Just listening to this, the GSC, the GSC audit that was conducted. Listen to the GSC audit that was conducted. You will know that these people, all they are doing is fattening the frog for themselves. While you celebrate, you celebrating hunger, they will be able to celebrate with their bank's account loaded and their pockets loaded. That's what's going to happen. My people, this is scary. This is
But
scary.
here's the issue. They will always, if budget increase, why is the government making publicity? When the budget increases, it is the impact it has on the people. The people themselves will celebrate.
Sure.
You do not have to have press conferences. I'm told right now today, Minister Gafon is about to have a press conference. Have press conference for what? If look, you in your house, your little daughter or whatever, when her got full, you will know when she's hungry, she will cry. You don't have to go and have public relation engagement to say, oh, my daughter, I'm feeding her in the home. Her behavior, her body language, her nutritional appear, you see how nutritional she is. When you see her, you say, yeah, this kid is observing full square meal. You don't have to do publicity if you doing good work in bed with your woman. Your woman will know, she will not complain. But you can't say knocking your chair, and that's my man, my woman, I can really wiggle. But not you will say it, and the woman will say it. So the United Party is passing all around saying, oh, Ashton. No, Strongman don't say it. It is his output. It is how many people he defeat in a battle. People say, yeah, they mean Strong. Coming out and say the budget is realistic. No, it is not your role to say whether it's realistic or not. It is the outcome, the impact of that budget.
Going to have.
But
Sure.
you get your brother, it is the current finance minister, his brother, his younger brother is the person at the Ministry of Leges. You know that it is his biological brother. The guy at Leges, he's got fun.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That is where the budget go and increase. Yes, that got fun, brother. At Leges. And then where the budget increased by 77%, and somebody won't celebrate that.
Wow.
Somebody want to celebrate that. So it doesn't make sense. Look, let me tell you this. I have resigned easily from the CDC and joined the Unity Party. If these guys were genuine, they said they were the smartest they had. They were superhuman. They have all of the formulas, the quadratic, development quadratic. They have all of the formula that could solve all of our development issues. They demonized the CDC-led government because our heads were empty. We were buffoonery. We were jigger fleas. We were empty-headed. We know nothing. So they have come with all of the prescriptive analysis. They have all of the prescriptions. All of the diagnoses were available to them. But it took them almost a year to come out with the RS agenda. And that RS agenda was formulated by a firm from Ghana, not Liberian firm. With all of the sophistication within the Unity Party, they outsourced the formulation of their own development agenda to a third party outside the country. So right now, as I speak to you, the framework of that whole development agenda is with a third party in a computer. National security risks already has been established. So this government is a government of buffoonery. They're not serious. In a nutshell, you made a budget, and the budget is very unrealistic, extremely ambiguous. It's a voodoo budget. It's a magical budget. I think now we'll get to the point where Joe BOAKAI said we should pray. I think we need to pray. We gotta become prayer-based citizens for that budget to be realistic. We have to have intervention. Go on what God does not do does not exist. I think that's our hope. We need to hope on our prayer line, get on every morning, and what God does not do does not exist. That's the only way we'll achieve this budget because it's not realistic. It's like taking, a 50 pounds of rice or 50 pounds of some object and putting it on 1-year-old child head. Then you say, I got faith the child will walk. That's suicide. Or you want to murder that child, escorting them to their early grave. That's what you are doing. That's what you are doing. You don't lie about what you don't have. You don't. You don't scare away development partner. Don't project an image that does not exist. This is dangerous for our country. It's dangerous for our democracy. It's dangerous for the next government because you are giving us a weight that we cannot lift. You want to create a scenario that everyone will come back and will make a realistic budget possible. But I have 1.2 billion budget here. So the society is gullible. So we need to emphasize this entire week, Prince, how
Sure.
unrealistic this budget is. This budget is, it's going to get cracked. It's leading us to all in the fire. We cannot be co-authors of our own demise. We cannot, help to create our own false destiny yet. This is a
You
false
know,
destiny.
there is something that I'm watching here, and maybe I will take my own time and just highlight some of these things. When you look at Liberia water and sewage, right?
they have here for water supply. 2024, it was about 4,785,000. That was just, the actual 4 million. In 2025, 5 million. In 2025, the estimated return is from water and sewage. Here we are seeing, where is this? Okay, 4 million. Now in 2026, in this recent budget, it jumped straight up with the budget. They are budgeted 10,555,128. Can you imagine that? 10 million is what they have here. So the budget, there's just the estimated return. So the budget that they have for them is 10,555,128. That's what they have here. 10 million for them. Wow. This is from 2025, which was somewhere around 4 million. Now 2026, it jumped up to straight $10 million. This is just water and sewage right here. This is just water and sewage. We'll look for ledges and see and try to do.
Prince, there's something in the chat room we to put out there. There's something I posted. I said we will discuss these conflicting figures. There's something rare. I can highlight it. You see it. This one. You see the two figures. I want to put it up in their own budget. One budget got two different conflicting figures. Just put it up. Let analyze it. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Let me.
Yeah, you see the two figures. Just put it on two different screenshots. You see it.
Yeah. Just a minute. Let me just go right to the room there and then be able to
see how. Look. We are in mess, fellow Liberians. Just put that on. You see. I'll put it. Okay. You put it on and look and see what we discover. Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. Come in just a minute. Let me put this up. Okay, so let's do this here. I'm sorry. Let's do this here just a minute. Let me get this. Okay, so fellow Liberians, just stay with us while we bring you this. Okay, so we have it right here. Here is it. We have it right here. And this is what you're talking about. The draft national budget.
Yeah, you seen the. So what I want you to do, the first figure there, which one are you looking at? The first one there, when you see it, the first one with which is predominantly white, right? It's predominantly white and blue background with a yellow there. The first one.
Yeah, so you're talking about right? This. Yeah.
So when you look
this is
right
what
there,
you're talking about.
Yeah, that one. So you see what is circle right there? What the figure you see up, you see the approved budget of 2025. You see the one in blue right there, you see the first one in blue, the other one in black.
880,662. Yeah.
62.
Yeah.
Then you come there, the one in black, what does it say? It says
804,627.
Okay, just flip to the next one. That's on the same technically real. Just flip to the next one right there.
Okay.
Flip to the next one. On the next one right there. Now you see what you're seeing there? That's last year's approved budget.
Yeah.
That's last fiscal year approved budget, right?
Yeah.
Now, in the same very budget, go on the line, you see return, you see outturn. Then go on the next line, you see fiscal year 2025 approved budget. Now, when you come there, you see the figure there now is 975,444. So
yeah.
So so when and then you come down again, you see 800. When you come right below, you see 899.
99,405,000.
So you see, so now because every time you're making a budget, you gotta reference the past. So on their own document, they keep putting inconsistent, incoherent figures. So which one are we taking now as the last year approved budget? Which figure are we taking? Are you understanding the argument?
Sure, sure. So now I think this is where we ourselves we are confused. And again, remember the GSC report that talks about how millions of dollars were being squandered without any, documentation, going through whatever process. So it's like when you look at this particular budget with this inconsistent amount of 9,700,000, 9,075,000, whatever it is, and down there $8 million. So it's like we are a bit confused. Whether it is the 800 million that they gave us, or the 900 was what maybe I don't know. This is really confusing.
So it's not confusing. It's crafted and it's intentional. It's well intentional. Lies. When you keep lying over and over and again, you will lie to some people some of the time, but you can lie to everyone all of the time. You will lie to some of the time. You can lie to everyone all of the time. So these are guys who say they know numbers. These are guys who say they smart, they clever, but yet to understand what was the budget last year, just to state it on two different pages, they state in two different figures. So which one are we taking?
Wow. And I think these are things that should actually capture the attention of our lawmakers. Because this is a law. The budget that the document is I mean, this is a legal document. So with these inconsistent amounts, so we are now confused.
You see, that was the same group of people. You remember Joker, when he made an annual report in a civil service report, they captured different figure. They captured different figure. A figure I was saying otherwise than what Ministry of Finance was capturing, and that one, it led to a huge debate between Koluba and that same Joker guy. So this government has always proven to be inconsistent. They've proven to be weak and impotent in terms of quantitative presentation, because quantitatively they've always presented inconsistent figures, confusing our audience. And where the audience they try to confuse, maybe that's a very gullible, but you cannot confuse people like who are well learned and who, even though it's not our expertise in numbering and in budgetary discussions, but we have common logic. You don't have to be,
For sure,
a budget expert, PhD in budgeting before you know that the numbers are inconsistent. And when you tell me approved budget 2025, then you come to the other page again, approved budget 2025. So how many budget did they have last year? So they are indirectly telling, they have two different budgets. They have one budget for the public and they have one budget for their operation backstage. These are questions that we are asking.
So, Honorable Dowai, what I really want to ask is that, judging from this particular huge budget, you think can the government meet its financial obligation? You think is possible? I mean, with all of these that we are looking at, where businesses, are closed, and we don't really have a kind of huge, one would say, local economic boom, where you have just very few. I mean, and these few are even struggling.
My brother,
Do you think that government is
let me
able
just
to
say
meet
this.
its financial obligation?
This entire budget, let me honestly state that is a blueprint for corruption and repression. This entire budget is a blueprint for oppression, repression, and corruption. This budget is deceitful. It has no pathway for growth. It's complete recklessness and deception by BOAKAI and his coordinate. Everything here is just about propaganda. Everything here is about corruption and betrayal to the Liberian people. This budget, to be specific, it tax the poor and feed the rich. This budget, what is doing? So how can they meet their target when the target is you're supposed to meet the demands of the entire population? That will not be met when you have a budget that targets the poor only to feed the rich. So the budget is unrealistic. They have increased. Let me tell you how they tax the poor. The DST tax, are you getting me? Prince Sherry, the DST tax increased from 12% to 13%. So today, if you go to somewhere you go buy anything there, there's a DST tax of GST tax or general service tax of 13%. It has increased from 12%. 1% increase in tax administration in numbering, that's a huge number right there. So every Liberian today who pay GST tax, that Liberian has an additional 1% increase. So they are depending on increasing more taxes on the Liberians to create more legislative seat, to give huge money to legislators, to give more money to the speaker, to hire more staff at the House of Representatives and the House of Senate. This is what they are depending on. So this budget is a recipe of poverty. It is a cocktail of corruption, and it is a celebration for the rich, not the poor. So they have also have a 2% corporate corporate taxes. So the corporate taxes in the end, the corporation will place it again on the ordinary people who are the final consumer. So people bringing in goods and services, those things are vendors. Who are the final consumer? Those final consumer bear the final burden of taxation. So the rescue mission, in a short, is an oppression mission. This rescue mission have come to make the Liberian people to bleed. It's a bleeding mission. The people are bleeding, friends. The people are crying. They are bleeding, going through tough time. They expect a budget that will impact their life, not a budget that will retrogress their life, not a budget that will increase, the pocket size of the already few elite and rich boys in the country.
And
So
Honorable
Boyka's
Dubayu,
budget is a symbol of greed and hypocrisy. The budget does not reflect the reality. It gives no prescription to take the people from suffering. This budget is actually a perfect prescription for suffering. It's a perfect prescription for more corruption. It's a perfect prescription for bad governance and inadequate services to the people. That is what this budget presents, Mr. Prince Sharif.
Honorable Dubayu, right now, looking at this particular budget, right, I am seeing that it's just a joke and an insult to the ordinary people. President Boeka, a few months ago, remember he appointed the vice president, Jeremiah Poon, to be able to look at, the increase in prices, basically to look at the hardship, to see what can be government intervention, to be able to intervene, to see how best, the prices of basic commodities, probably can be reduced, how they can be able to make intervention, in almost all of the sectors. But unfortunately, after appointing this man to say, well, there is a need for us to be able to make intervention to reduce the hardship on our people, to see in this budget that they will increase GST to 12%, 12%, sorry,
No, from 12 to
13%
13.
to
Yeah, from 12 to
13%.
13. Yeah.
Then this is even scary because the time it was 12, you say the people are suffering. Let's look for a way to be able to reduce things. Let's look for ways so that our people can benefit. You are not creating job, because if people have job and you have increase in these taxes, to some extent we can manage it. We can be able to, take whatever the shock is, because we have something to be able to absorb that shock. But you have a country where, especially under Joseph Numa Boeka, we have seen the reduction, in fact, the increase in unemployment. Look, for example, the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, you put almost about 300 persons down. Just now, somebody sent a video to me where the people are now protesting. FDA women, they are now protesting. The people are now protesting at the Ministry of or Youth and Sports. People there, they owe them money, they sack them. Almost 200 of our mothers, they sack them. So if you have a budget, or if you have appointed a team that's supposed to look into resolving the issue and trying to see how best they can be able to at least make significant impact to reduce poverty and to reduce hunger, then in the budget that is supposed to reflect the reality, you are increasing GST. That is a contradiction. It's a complete contradiction.
So yeah, my dear brother, I try to do something on the DST task. So that's it. The government is playing with our intelligence. The government is reckless about everything. I see huge legislative hypocrisy. I see executive hypocrisy, and I see judiciary hypocrisy. This is a collaborative effort by the three branches of government to throw our people in perpetual poverty, to throw good leadership into perpetual oblivion, while current poverty is distributed on the people, and a few elite of our country enjoy the wealth of our state. This
Wow.
is sheer hypocrisy. This particular budget is a budget of overspending that pleases the regime speaker. This budget has increased its budget from 1.4 to 1.8 after he's overspent additional 65,000 of his budget was
Hmm.
spent. Can you imagine his budget was 800 plus thousand? He used all 800 plus thousand, then he added additional 65,000 only from
Wow.
traveling, from entertainment, scratch car, gas, fuels, meeting girlfriend, going to RLJ hotel. These are the primary reasons why this budget have increased. Operational budget, you know, and then everything happening here. The staff at the legislature, their pay not going all of those staff. Everything remains
They're not
static.
going up.
Only lawmakers only lawmakers. So the very lawmakers which has been infested by Unity Party bad laws is indulging into extravagant, into big criminality. They have not the started appetite to bring the executive to their knees. And
Eh,
that's why they when they remove Speaker Kofa, because they did not want a situation where they will be made to account for their stewardship.
hmm.
So this budget is a budget of acute misplaced priority. This budget places no food on the table for a mantua. It places no chalk on the table for a teacher. It gives
And you
no
know,
craft bear to a student. It did not give
Honorable Dubayu,
any incentive for internet studies and research whatsoever. This budget is a budget of big conferences and large DSA for government officials.
do you know
That is
that
what this
this
budget is
budget,
about.
based on the projection where they anticipating to even collect money from, do you know that it will even affect the those big corporation and provide unemployment? I'm looking at something here where it say a 2% presumptive corporate income tax that
But
will
that's why I
be
was telling you
introduced
about.
for
I said
major concession.
that, that
So at the end of the day,
that's why I'll be
I'm
telling
sorry,
you.
sir.
That's what I'll be telling you. So that talking about that people in the Peugeot Corporation. Peugeot Corporation is one of those corporations on Vatan that brings in a lot
Hmm.
of goods in the country.
Yeah,
So most of the people that you see the full shadowing that got someone shot, they go and buy in wholesale. So
true.
if you increase the corporate taxes on these people that bringing in goods on large scale, those people will not told to pay your tax, but there will be corresponding increase on
Hmm.
on wholesale prices. And
Sure.
when the fuller man, because the poor man doesn't interact with the wholesaler, no, it is a middle. There's a middle how you call trader there who goes and buy in wholesale
Yeah,
and
the
come
middleman.
interact with the final consumer. So right in between there, you see there will always be increase because the other man too he wants to make profit. That's what I'm telling you about. So I'm talking to you
Wow.
that people who bring in chicken feed in large scale, the tax will affect them. Now there's technically all the taxes will come back on the people because the man who
True.
bringing in who is
Hmm.
a corporate actor, he's
This
not
is
going to face
scary.
the final breading. He's not going to face the final breading.
Wow.
The final breading
This,
going to descend on the people.
my people, this is really scary. More Liberians will be out of businesses. If they even have one, they will be out of it. Because just looking at this 2%, like take for example, they will already put a tax there. They presume that whatever goods or services that you bring in, you will already pay the tax. That one, no negotiation. You will pay it. This 2%, you pay it. So at the end of the day now, the people who will suffer, that 1 minute we can go and say, I'm begging you, you please give me some kind of late 20 bag, let me go and sell it. Maybe I will bring the money back. So at the end of the day, he will also be affected. This is really going to have a terrible effect on the ordinary people. This thing that we're looking at here, my people. It's going to have a terrible effect. This is going to create serious unemployment because, take for an example, you get some kind of shop where the mayor, he get some kind of board that he get there. He say the board at warehouse board. He can go to maybe Bridgeo Corporation or maybe Fuani or some kind of area and go take goods from there. to bring it in a warehouse. At the end of the day, with this 2% that other Bushray Corporation or maybe any of these, how you call company, that can bring in goods in large quantity. Once they start to increase the price, this man who going for a 100 bag or 50 bag to bring it, guess what is about to happen? If even he get 3% in a warehouse helping him, you reduce that 3% there to maybe one. Now, one man will be doing all the job because at the end of the day, you don't want to spend too much. So instead of two men being in a warehouse, that one man will be there now doing almost all of the work. More besides, if that man used to sell, for example, maybe if you're talking about chicken soup, if he used to sell the chicken soup pack for somewhere around $100, because of that particular presumptive tax that have been placed on that corporation, and they will also put it on the goods that you coming to buy, guess what? The man who's selling in your community will also increase the price. So all these things that we are talking about is coming right down on the heads of the ordinary people. That they don't want to feel it. Already you're now working to even get money to back up or rest that war. Then look at this other one that we're talking about. This is terrible. This is serious. This is really serious. This budget is just telling you how the government is going to enjoy, those in government, how they are going to enjoy, and how you are going to suffer. No wonder why you see Mr. BOAKAI is just recklessly appointing people all around the place. You think what is going to happen? Those people that he's appointing every day, after every week, you will see somebody being appointed. After every week, you will see somebody being appointed. They got to pay these people. So at the end of the day, the money is going to his pocket, in other words, while the people continue to languish in abject poverty. Because the people that are being employed, they are not the common people like you and myself. Look at quite recently, Madam Janice Cooper, who was at the ministry, an opposition that President Weah employed at the Ministry of Agriculture. And today now they say she is the what for carbon, some kind of carbon, carbon security or carbon whatever. She has been appointed by BOAKAI. So BOAKAI, we have to pay her. Oh yeah, she will be paid. So you think where the money coming from? Now why these people increasing the budget? So they're increasing it not because of you, not because they want to ensure that your schools are built or your schools are better. You get good books in there, that the schools are really, really refurbished and etc. etc. No, it's not for that. They don't want to ensure that they get new medical equipment at the JFK. Imagine at JFK, the dialysis machine that President Weah left. It broke down under Joseph Newman BOAKAI. Up to today, they are yet to fix it. I just want people operating on. The two that President Weah brought there, one damage. For the Unity Party to say, yeah, or for this government of Joseph Newman BOAKAI, a man who is already sick and should know the importance of health, for him to say, no, I will not allow this to happen here. We just get one operating there now. The other one broke down. But Joseph Newman BOAKAI will travel all around the place. Let's see what is happening. Fellow Liberians, like nobody said, there's a budget that will affect you and myself. There's a budget that will take from us and put in the pockets of those who already have it. There's a budget that at the end of the day, you and myself will feel the pinch of everything. Do you know what we're talking about? Increase in taxes of 13%. A country where unemployment is almost like 90%. Then the government can add it up by taking people from on job. You know what we're talking about? A country where somebody can just jump on, you even get press control. Your Ministry of Commerce, they don't even have press control. They do their own thing. And now look at what is happening. We are the ones that are going to feel the weight. We are the ones that are going to suffer, fellow Liberians. And not these people that you call government official. No. The government official ain't got nothing to worry about. Patrick Honor will still be getting a 3,000, and in fact will increase. From 3,000, maybe it can go up now to $4,000 for his gas. Oh yeah. The people allowances now coming increase for different area. There's going to be an increase. This is where we are. Fellow Liberians, we want to talk on the second issue that has to do with
President Weah global appointment on FIFA. I want to ask you, as Liberians, as we discuss this, the recognition of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah by the world governing body of sports. What does it mean for us as Liberians? What is the dividends that we as a people will benefit from? What is the end result for us? Or how can we as a people sit and say, well, the appointment of President Weah, this thing here is going to have a positive impact on us as a nation and as a people, is going to, put us in the spotlight. Is this anything that we as Liberians should be excited for as it relates to, the international recognition of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah on this FIFA board, as chairman or as head of the racism, forum to discuss the issue of racism? Should we as Liberians be excited? Is it a win for us? Onawodowayu?
This is more than a win, Mr. Prince Sharif. In a period where your country is beclouded with extreme poverty, dark is darkening, no hope, where destitution is everywhere. Young people don't have hope for the future, no past, no present, no future. I think it's more than, a pleasurable venture for us. Because for, national unity, if you are out there and your to life today is defined by your presence, people are castigating curse upon you. If you are out there and people telling you nothing will come out of you, because like Josh, we are today, you are receiving similar curse. People told him, that he will become nothing because he was not of the elite class. He was from the proletarian, the downtrodden, the leftover of the society. Those that have been oppressed today were the same very, that's the same very quadrant that George Weah belonged to in time past. So in the time where, Joseph Boga goes to the UN and he's vacated from on stage, he cut off his mark, creating national embarrassment on us as a country. When Joe Boga is bringing national, international embarrassment to us, George Weah appointment is offsetting that disgrace. George Weah appointment at the level of FIFA. FIFA has been established for, I think, almost 100 years or more. There were many great players that have created and graced this good old sport called soccer and football. For all of them, to be sidelined and George Weah giving the chairmanship to lead a committee on racism, it tells you that they recognize him as a voice for progression, a voice that says not what you gave the game, but not what the game gave you, but what you give the game. It's like, it reminds me of a famous quotation that says, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. A famous American president said those words. George Weah today in soccer is saying, not what the game gave you, not the discipline, but it's what you give the game, the attention, the consistency. That quotation has caught the attention of FIFA to the extent that they will inscript it at their headquarters in Rabat. So I'm telling you that George Weah's presence at the FIFA, the Federation of International Football, is an image, is imaging us. George Weah he was destined to always, put Liberia on the map. That is further placing Liberia and reinforcing Liberia on the quadrant of positivity on the global stage. When Joe Boga is there, fainting on the world stage on his own inauguration, George Weah is there offsetting some of those embarrassment that Joe Boga is bringing on us. So yes, I can tell you, this means a lot for our country. It means a lot for the game, for young people playing the game who experience racism. George Weah played soccer during the period and the peak of extreme racism in Europe, when blacks were referred to as monkeys. And we all know the tales surrounding George Weah not carrying the Ballon d'Or for the second year in row because he was set up, and of course, everyone has emotion. They try to humiliate him, but he remains stable, he remains calm. In the end, they did not give him the Ballon d'Or because he experienced the wrath, the ugly wrath, the skeleton of racism was projected in his face. You know, that scourge of racism, that zombie of racism, he saw it face to face, and you know how ugly and scary it was. And so for he to be given the stage to stir the affair of players and become their voices, tell me the negative about that. How many people play soccer around the world? FIFA is the single largest richest organization in the world. I don't know of any global organization that have raw cash available than FIFA. For FIFA to entrust you with such a huge portfolio, it tells you how bright his international image is. It tells you that he's a primus inter pares, first among equal. He's cream de la cream, best of the best. He's well respected among his peers. That is what we do not understand in Liberia. He's giving a blue book, he's giving an honor by FIFA as a global citizen, while Joe BOAKAI, who is an ordinary pedestrian, has been leeching on government, is here disrespecting him back home. So what I can tell you in a nutshell, George Weah's appointment at that level, it requires
Hello? Hello? All right. So I think you know, one way or the other, I think his network is somehow, tripping. But fellow Liberians, the appointment of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah is a boost for us as a people and as a nation. Again, it has put Liberia on the spotlight of progress. It has put Liberia on the spotlight and Liberians in the lamplight of just, a nation where great things can happen. You know, I always see that when there are negative image being projected by our leaders, one person always show up to see how best they can be able to project the positive of the nation. Look at the reports that you've been reading about Liberia as it relates to the investment climate. All has not been well. Look at the disgrace Joseph Numa BOAKAI has brought to the people of Liberia, to the extent that internationally he looking like Bugume, where other people will go and get money. We will go there as a nation. Our own president will go there. We now bring Sishi Fadala. Joseph Numa BOAKAI has become like an embarrassment to us as Liberians. So what we are seeing with the appointment of President Weah, he has put Liberia back on the map. That when you talk about Liberia now, you are not just talking about the corruption that is being carried out by Joseph Numa BOAKAI. When you talk about Liberia, you are not talking about the disrespect alone by the rule of law by Joseph Numa BOAKAI. You are not talking about the massacre that have been carried on in King George. You are not talking about police brutality, armed robberies, and etc., etc. But you will be talking about a nation whose son is leading the fight against racism in the world. Is that not glorious? Is that not wonderful? Is that not something that we should be proud of? President, we are continuing to present a picture that in the midst of difficulties, we can still shine out there very bright. In the midst of chaos, there is something that we can still look at. And what President Weah have been able to do for us as a nation
even during the heat days of our war, when we were fighting, when President Weah is playing, every other person will be glued to the television. It's when the name of Liberia will be glorified because of President Weah. During the days of the heat days of our war, when we hear that, yeah, his team is playing, Chelsea is playing, or PSG, people will put down their arms and will go to the video club to watch the show. Today, what we are seeing is another glorious moment again for us as a people, for our son, for our president to be recognized by the world over, to lead these task, to fight against racism. This is something that we are proud of. Joseph Numa Boyka had never been recognized, even nationally, as one of the heroes in the agriculture sector. No, he has never. Throughout Joseph Numa Boyka 40 plus years of political, career, no serious organization have recognized him for the impact that he has made in the agriculture sector. No. No serious institution have recognized him for his role play in the agriculture sector that he claimed to be an expert in. But today, we have His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah. Even after leaving the game, it's still been recognized. His importance is still being shown to the world, not only to Africa, but to lead the world. This is a proud for us as a people and as a nation. On this note, my people, we want to stop here and see if we can take a call. Those of you who want to contribute, you can put in your calls. We want to take about 1 or 2 minutes for call. You can put in your calls on the issue of the budget, on this issue of what we Liberians stand to benefit from the appointment of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah. And to do that, like I said, you can place in your calls. The number to call is 443-991-3356. That's the number to call. 443-991-3356. That's the number to call, and you will be right with us. So Ruth say, hi Prince, thank you for all your hard work. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We go to Albert. Albert say, how are you, brother? I am following you from Ganta City, Nima County. Thank you so much, Albert. We go to David Gaulo. Say, I'm watching you live from Gaza community. Thank you so much, my brother David. We go to Emmanuel N. Sewon. Emmanuel Sewon say, hi, brother. I am following you from a Corway resident as an acting chairman of CDC Sino chapter. We are ready to bring President Weah back in 2029. Thank you so much, my brother. We move on to now Daniel. Sorry. Okay. So he said, watching from Bond County. Melvin Brown. We go to Melvin Brown. He said, I'm following from my CDC district number 14 office in Do community along the Bekube Avenue. Thank you so much. We get the Honorable Yahaya Talata Sharif. It's a great show, folks. Thank you so much for your presence. We get George Vuku Jr. He say, okay, we don't want to use this remark, but he say, okay, no problem, Vuku. Caroline Ka Bouquet, say, watching from Iowa. Thank you. Rose Jue, say, because of envy, that's why they gave our country to a total stranger, definitely. Tiwa here says, I'm sorry, this app we have to move from here. Sorry. I'm receiving some notification. Okay, sorry. Sorry, my people. Where was I? Okay, Venetia's Junior Bar.
He said, watching live from the borough of New Town. Thank you so much. Bangali Lasana said the price of a bag of rice is 2006 and gasoline price is $740. So the reduction of the rate is affecting price on the market, madam. Unfortunately, you are talking about Morovia. You know, that's what sometimes baffles me. Some of these people think Morovia is Liberia. So, for example, you walk down Broad Street and buy maybe gas for $740. Are you asking yourself how much gas is being sold right in rural Mosorado? No, leave Morovia. Maybe you're talking about Morovia, those environment on the Bushwa Island or on the Somalia draft. But do you know how much gas is being sold in rural Mosorado? Todi. Do you know how much gas is being sold in Todi? Do you know how much bag of rice is being sold in Todi? So when you come and say, oh, the price of gas is 700 and rest at 2,600, it is because you are right in Morovia. The people in Sino, are they buying it at that price? The people in Bokonjire, are they buying it at that price? The people in Jenewene, are they buying it at that price? The people in Sinje, are they buying it at that price? So when you come to make analysis, you must make it holistically. And not because you live in, for example, in Nukutan and you're buying rice for 2006. It means the man that is all the way there in Bokonjide or the woman that is all the way there in how you call Belefasama is buying it at the same price. But again, fellow Liberians, we want to say thanks to each and every one of you. On this note, we've come to the end of our today's presentation because we have to take care of other things. We want to say thank you. For those of you who it is your first time here, I want to say welcome. This is Honor the Palava Hut. We appreciate your presence. Stop. So for those of you who it is your first time here, we want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We want to say please like, follow, hit the share button, and follow our pages under the Palava Hut. Until we meet again. Let's see. We have a caller here. Let's see. Hello? Yes, sir. We're gonna take this call.
So my name is Smart. Yeah, I'm calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your take on those things we talk
I
about?
wanted to chat on the budget.
Okay.
Yes. So one thing that caught my eye in the budget was the allocation of funds to the healthcare organization.
Okay.
Right. So
All right.
there are about 11 entities that will be receiving money to improve infrastructure and as well as the organization itself. But for one thing that caught my eye, I did not see the floating military hospital listed on that. So I don't know if this is a preliminary budget, another budget is going to come out that will include them. So I think that is eyebrow raising, you know.
Okay.
And then secondly, for the CDC political leader being selected by FIFA, appointing him to head the anti-racism for FIFA, which is a global organization. What that means is that this man is going to be giving advice to FIFA on all levels of the game, off and on the pitch. So, I mean, as a country, Liberia needs to be celebrating that because in this era where Africa is called a shithole, excuse me for the language, country, right? But then someone from a shithole nation is selected. That's a different picture, you know. So we need to celebrate and be happy for him being appointed to that level. That's all I wanted to share.
Thank you so much. We do appreciate your take. Thank you so very kindly. And
Yeah, thank you, Prince, for all what you do. I do follow you from time to time, but you are very respectful on your show, and you go to the issue. You know, you don't not attack personality, which I appreciate. Thank you.
thank you so very kindly, sir. Thank you so very kindly. Thank you. So that is it, fellow Liberians. Time of caught up with us because right now we got to attend to what we got to attend to. Okay. So we got to attend to what we got to attend to, you know. The other side is demanding our attention. So until we meet again, my people, I want to say thanks. Let's continue to discuss this. Let's continue to look at the budget because this is what is going to affect us for the next 1 year. We're talking about the next 1 year. Your children is inside. You yourself, you inside. But until we meet again, my people, I want to say thanks to all of you. Bye from our end.